Hello and welcome to an exciting edition of AttractWell Office Hours. I am Coach Ashley. Today I'm joined by founder of AttractWell, Greg Kilwine. Hey, Greg.
Hey everyone, really glad you joined us today.
We're excited that you're here. You are joined by the resident wizard of AttractWell, who created a magical new feature that we are going to get into today. You guys, if you thought that using AI to help you work smarter in your business was cool, you're about to find out what cool really is today. We've got a really interesting feature that if you have not played around with it yet, you're going to be blown away at what it can do for you. And there are very few things that this thing can't do for you. So we've got a lot to get into. This is a custom GPTs is what we're calling it. It's a feature that you can use as a lead magnet, as a quizzer, as a knowledge base, really as a version of you that's available in different places on your site or even off of your site to collect information, to share information, and to guide people toward outcomes, whether those are automated outcomes or even connecting with you directly, getting on your calendar, etc. So this is a really exciting way to turn your website into something that just talks at people into something that interacts. So I've got a lot to get into with you guys here today. Say hello in the chat. Let us know what you do and where you're coming in from. We're excited to have you here today. I'm going to come out of video. Greg will as well. We'll come back and join you at the close of our demo and our training here today. So today we are introducing this brand new feature. Greg very quietly pushed this out into the wild last week, and you guys might have discovered this if you were logged in. If you haven't yet, you're going to see all about it today. Look forward to future trainings about this as well. To be fair, this is going to be a broad overview of what this feature is, how it works, and where it plugs in. So if you're looking for very specific explorations of use cases, we will be going into greater depth with additional videos about this feature in the future. So let's get into this big broad picture view of what this thing is and maybe the scope of how you could look at using it in your AttractWell account. This is, again, like I mentioned before, a way for you to offer lead magnets, quizzes, support, live chat, and so much more on your site. So what we'll cover today are taking a view of the full scope of what this custom GPT can do and where it can live on your site. We will check out a live demo of this feature in action. We'll learn what makes this different from every chatbot you've ever seen or interacted with, and you'll understand how to connect outcomes to automations, to tags, follow-up plans. This really can become a very dynamic tool on the front or back end of your business to support moving leads toward conversion, or even supporting clients toward outcomes that they speak, or supporting them in different phases of your process of how you serve clients. I mean, imagine this as an intake form for you wellness practitioners, multi-symptom questionnaires, right, that have branching where you need to ask questions, if this, then that. There's so much you can do with this. It's so exciting. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Of course, as always, we'll get into live help and Q&A. We do invite you to add your questions to the Q&A as you have them. Greg, resident wizard here with the magic wand, he is here to also answer questions, to grant questions, to grant answers to your questions. And if you are signed up for live work with you, I believe Peggy, you are signed up to have some questions answered about your member area. We'll take a look at that at the close of the call. AttractWell.com/office hours. If you're watching this as a replay, head over here, sign up to join us on a future live call. We love having you here. It's a great opportunity to connect with community, get inspiration, and see how stuff works. And if you'd like to work together, as Peggy and I will today, you can go to AttractWell.com/work review, sign up for space on an upcoming live call like this one. And if you need hands-on help and you don't want to wait until I'm done talking for 30 minutes, and maybe there's a different time of the week that you prefer to meet with somebody, we've got other options if this one isn't the one that works for you. AttractWell.com/live help is a great opportunity to connect with Pam, who is brilliant, knows everything about the system, is a professional in the space of copywriting, design, and more, and understands our system just as well as the rest of our incredible team does. So go check her out and get help from her if you need it. And if you would like to hand off the project that you would like to have done for you, that's an option as well. AttractWell.com/concierge, where you can go to learn more about the team, the projects that they have completed, the people that they have made so happy, and you can set up your own call to discuss your dream projects. So let's talk about why we would even consider having a bot on our website in the first place. Right now, when we think about a chat bot, we might cringe a little bit because we've probably all had a less than awesome experience with a chat bot in the past. And usually what's happening in those instances is that, some large, very profitable publicly traded corporation is preserving their profits by not having humans do the work of communicating with humans, right? We're not trying to go in that direction, right? We're not trying to go that far. But a really important thing to consider is that when people land on your website, there's only one conversation that's really taking place, right? And the people who land on your website are not always necessarily, all of them, in the same place and ready to have the same conversation, right? So every page creates an impression, whether you're there or not. And your static pages are going to ask visitors to figure it out on their own, which, if you're good at copywriting and you've mapped things out correctly and you've got your website flowing the way that it needs to, right? If it's well and professionally designed, then, you know, the outcomes can be reached, right? With a pretty reliable means, right? But what if the page could actually respond? What if somebody landed somewhere and a pop-up said, hey, what are you here for? Who are you? How can I help you? And then it can direct them to what they want to know or what they would like to receive, or maybe move them gradually through a conversation toward booking a call with you, right? Maybe answering any objections they have before they take action that page is prescribing, right? So most chatbots are cringe. This one is super useful and really interesting because it's yours and you get to make it do exactly what you want, including having it route to you as quickly as you would like it to. So you can set it up so that it knows your voice, your offer, your audience, and it collects meaningful information, not just name and email, right? So if you are maybe, I'll give you an example. I've got a client who needs a sort of diagnostic run in a conversation before he gets on a call with someone, right? And typically what a diagnostic in this situation for a business consultant would look like is that you're gathering a bunch of information. Well, he's narrowed that down, or rather we've used AI to narrow that down to about 5 questions. And depending on the answers to those questions, we will move them into a particular bucket, right? Where they're going to get a very specific set of communication. So a drip of campaigns, they're going to be tagged in a particular way. Of course, if they are qualified based on their answers, we'll be moving them toward a call with him, right? So all of that information is also collected here. And it doesn't feel as arduous as looking at a long form, right? And also importantly, long forms like we have on our page forms don't have the ability to branch, right? So everybody has to fill out everything, even if it might not be applicable to them. You can create something that truly is able to adapt in the moment to the circumstance that you want to move toward, right? So it connects to what happens next. And the beautiful thing is that these conversations, the records of these things, go into the contact files, just like your notes do, right? So your past actions, just like any other forms that they would fill out, emails that they have been sent and opened, you can see a record of everything on your contact card. So let's talk about the scope of what this can do. And I'm sure I'm very excited to be shown that I don't know the scope, right? Very interested to see what you guys come up with, but let's talk about it. Lead generation. You could use this for public-facing quizzes, diagnostic conversations, maybe addressing different objections that someone might have on a page before they convert for a particular purpose. You could also use this as a knowledge base. I absolutely love this as an option that you put inside of a member area or a course that can allow people who are maybe less tech proficient to be able to more quickly find what they're looking for, right? Or to have concepts explained to them, right? Again, just little things that pile up that people would prefer your one-on-one time for. Maybe they don't seek it out. And God forbid, if they all did, you would be too busy to take on clients and get paid, right? So a knowledge base is a really great tool to have where you serve clients. A live chat feature, right? So this begins with the bot kind of gathering initial information, and then you can escalate to connect with you, right? If that is your desire, or if you just want to make sure that that is a clear option, right? If they know that they want to speak to a person, we can send them your direction very quickly. Quizzing in courses. This is something that has been a requested feature in our system for years, you guys. This is now how you quiz. So if you are someone who wants to score or assess how people are retaining and understanding the knowledge that they are building inside of the courses that you create, this is particularly powerful, I believe, for those of us who are maybe coaches or consultants who certify others in our methods, right? So that this is where we would score them and confirm that they are in fact ready to move forward. I love this. And also importantly, the ability to advance to next lesson inside of your course. This is a feature that like you can actually attach these individual GPTs to individual lessons if you'd like to. So this isn't just about, I went through a whole course, now quiz me on it. You could get to the end of a particular module, quiz them on that, and they can't move forward unless they get a particular score, right? Ooh, I love that. Member support, obviously, this is related to a knowledge base, but this is something that you could have inside of your cohorts and private client dashboards. Also, this is something that doesn't just plug into other places. It could also just be shared as a standalone page, just a URL on your website. And it's also embeddable anywhere. So this can go onto pages, blogs, events, landing pages, or third-party sites. You can actually plug this in elsewhere. So if you have, maybe you're in a transition period, you're maybe using AttractWell for a lot of your back-end stuff, but you still got a website that you have somewhere else you want to put this there, you can do that too. And every conversation is summarized, logged to the contact record, and then emailed to you. So today we're going to focus on the setup process, so how it looks to actually build one of these. And then we'll talk about a few use cases so that we can see how it works. Obviously, there's a lot we can do here, and I'm not going to be able to show you everything today, that we will be focusing on this moving forward. You guys are going to see a lot more trainings to this end. We're going to talk about what becomes possible when this is connected to your automations. And of course, we will get into more dialed in use cases in future sessions. But let's talk about what happens after the conversation, because this is really key. This isn't just about, gathering information from someone. I mean, it certainly can be if you want to use it to that extent, right? Have this replace a landing page and treat this like a lead magnet. That's really cool. But after they have completed the process and you've got their information, what do we do next, right? So if you want yours to be a quiz or a diagnostic, there are certain results that they'll receive. We can dial in what that looks like here. So we can apply tags based on how someone responds. We can trigger a campaign based on their answers. We can redirect them to the next step. So that might be presenting a button, right? Or a link for them to click. Perhaps that's to go and book a call with you or to visit a sales page, et cetera. And then you could also, using automations, apply follow-up plans, right? So maybe there are to-dos for you to take on that contact. And so those back-end prompts can show up as a result of this as well. So we can automate how we are called to action for this lead that shows up in our system with this specific information. And at the end of the day, this is all about integration, because if you wanted to have a tool like this for your site, and there are quiz things, right? There's Interact. I think a lot of folks that use AttractWell have used Interact at some point in the past. That's a third-party tool. You can use that, maybe point to their pages that aren't actually on your website, or use Zapier and try to connect those to wherever. Gosh, it's a headache to try to keep all of this stuff integrated, right? So a standalone chatbot can capture a conversation, but an integrated one, like what we have here, can actually do something with it. And it can do something with it for you, the business owner, who is not trying to be a marketing technician. You have other things that you need to do, and you need a way to be able to get these things done, right? So no zaps here, no third-party accounts, and no praying that it all talks to each other and stays connected. It's all integrated. It's all built to work together. And that's what AttractWell is all about, is to give everything to you that you need in one place, to have everything that you need to run your business all in one spot. So let's go see it in action, and head into the chat. Let me know what you want to build with this thing. By the way, if you're in AttractWell right now, since we have launched this, we actually do have a call out here up top where you can offer quizzes and classes for lead generation, create knowledge bases, etc. We can click try it now and it'll take you straight to it. However, and let me go ahead and get into the Jane account so that I can start from scratch here. Not the Jane account. Here we go. But if you want to get started with this, you're going to go to your content library and you're going to click on My GPTs and Quizzes. Now we have a lot here that we've been playing with. This is a test account. So I can go and click Create GPT. And here's the cool thing. So there are two approaches to this. One of them, if you are someone who is already integrated with using a dedicated LLM for your business, maybe that's where you keep your project files, your rules and guidelines around your voice and all of that, right? Like if you're using Claude or ChatGPT or something like that, one thing that you could do here is tell it, right? You know who I am. You know what my business is. I am creating an AI chatbot that I want to do this. Come up with a prompt that will tell it what to do, right? And when you do that, you can paste it in here. And seriously, don't be shy. You can put a massive prompt in here. And then it will just come back and ask you some clarifying questions. And you're off to the races. And you may need to maybe create a knowledge base or something like that. That would be helpful. But let's just talk about what this looks like to start from scratch, right? We've got some prompts to get started. Maybe I want to offer a quiz to get leads on my website. This is a fun one. So I'm going to offer a quiz to get leads on my website, and it's going to ask me what I would like to do. So I would like to, topic or theme for my quiz. I want something that's based off of what AttractWell already knows about me. And by the way, if I go over here to my settings, I'm going to open this up in a new tab. We do have AI settings in here where you can go ahead and establish the rules for who you are, what you offer, etc. So knowing this, I'm actually just going to go to Write with AI, and I'm just going to ask it. I'm going to, I want to come up with a quiz for lead generation to use on my site. I will use an AI chatbot for this, come up with an idea for a quiz that fits my audience, and advise as to how we can provide customized answers that all lead to booking a call with me. Okay, so since it knows about me, I'm just going to give this a shot, give it an idea here, and then I'll come back over to my GPT, and I'm actually just going to go ahead and just post in what it gives me. I'm saving myself some time here. And again, if it were me doing this as someone who regularly uses and pays for Claude, for instance, I would ask it, because it's, you know, probably got a lot more guidance files and background on me. So energy drain diagnostic quiz for postpartum moms. Okay. Oh, yeah, no, this is good. Let me go ahead and copy this to clipboard, and I'm just going to come over here and give it to our quiz builder and see what it does with it. It's so neat to just like have AI talk to AI. All right, so there we go. All right, so we've basically designed the entire experience. This is more of a diagnostic or personality style quiz, categorizing them into an energy profile rather than a scored right wrong quiz. That's good. So there aren't correct answers. Instead, each answer maps to one of the energy drain categories: nutrition, sleep, stress, lifestyle, environmental, and the profile with the most hits becomes their result. Is that right? Yes, that's right. So cool. The language, English, there we go. And it's going to ask me just a couple more things, right? So tone and personality, this is going to be upbeat and motivating. I could also add something else if I want to provide a little bit more clarity. And I think that 8 questions is probably the best. I actually think that 5 questions would be better. So let's just go ahead and go with 5. I think if we go a lot higher than that, again, this is for leads, we run the risk of a little bit of fatigue here, right? So 5 questions, multiple choice, good. I'm going to do that. And then it's going to ask me, is this question okay, right? So here's our first one, nutrition and food sensitivities. What's the question? So which one do we want to use? Which best describes your current eating pattern? How would you describe your relationship with food? How often do you feel bloated, sluggish, or foggy after eating? I'm going to use that first one. And we'll just continue walking through this process. Now, I'm going to show you something really interesting at the close of this, because once it's created all of these for me, I'm going to go ahead and approve these options. Obviously, you're going to spend a little more time tweaking these if you like. I'm going to show you what's really cool. Once you've designed this, you can actually ask it to generate a prompt for you to create the campaigns that you'll need to communicate with people after the fact, right? Because imagine like this, if somebody is being quizzed on your website, they are going to obviously want the answer to their quiz, but you are going to want to be able to get their email, right? To get their name, and to be able to communicate with them on an ongoing basis, right? So, and maybe to speak further specifically to the circumstances that they're experiencing, and then of course, calling them toward your point of conversion, which in this case is going to be a discovery call. Let's see. I'm going to grab this first one. We're almost there. We're getting closer. So I'm going to continue prompting here. Now, while I'm moving through this process, I want to mention as well that this is something that, again, you could plug in to a page on your website. So maybe this pops up on your homepage or an about page on blog posts, etc. Right? Let me see. Just going to continue saying yes to these. And you can also use this as a standalone. So once this is done, you could just share a link to this directly. And this would completely serve the entire purpose of a funnel once you have it set up completely, which is just so really cool and exciting. Another way that you could use this, I actually demoed this on an earlier call today for another platform that we have. You could create like a product selector, right? If you've got like a range of products, and help them choose the one that's best for them based on questions that they ask, right? So many great things we could do here. All right, and the other thing too that's really important, I'm showing you how to set up 5 multiple choice questions. You are able to actually, as a user of this, type and ask things that are within scope. So it's not just limited to what's there. All right, so 5 of 5, here's our summary. Each question maps to one of the 4 energy modules. Now let's talk about the topics the chatbot should avoid. Let me see. Those are it. Obviously, if you are creating something that is wellness or medical adjacent, you want to make sure that you've got your compliance covered. I want to collect name and email. And I love how it's just prompting me. You don't have to think about these things. It's thinking of them for you. Do we want to escalate to a live person? Because this is a lead magnet, I would kind of prefer to keep this quiz only. If this were something else, if it were maybe for clients, I would certainly make that something that's escalatable. But I really want to use this to serve the purpose of a funnel. All right, so here are our outcomes. Nutrient depleted mom, sleep deprived warrior, overwhelmed and stretched thin, multi-factor energy crash, or not ready yet. These outcomes are good. And we do have our booking link that's already here. Now, one thing that I do want to make sure that it does is to collect the name and email in the context of the conversation, right? And I want them to get the email address before they get their result, right? So instead of a pop-up, which again, like there's nothing wrong with a pop-up per se, this is actually just a way to reduce friction, which is really exciting. And Alicia, there will be a recording of this webinar. It's usually within a couple hours of, I think by 5 is when we send it out. It's usually up a little bit earlier. And I'll go ahead and keep answering some questions here as this continues to generate. Erica is creating an FAQ page. How could I incorporate the GPT into that standalone page? What I would do is create a chatbot and tell it that it is there for the purpose of answering frequently asked questions. I would build a knowledge base file of your frequently asked questions and a scope of, sort of what is correct and what is not. And then, go from there. Tell this that that's what you want it to do, and then provide it with the information that you would have on the FAQ. Guide it by telling it, this is what I want the outcomes to be. And it will guide you through what's needed. All right, so here we go. It's going to, what's stealing your energy? Fun, upbeat 5-question diagnostic. I'm going to go ahead and apply this configuration that it offers. So before I set up the actions, I need you to provide me with 1 prompt each for each outcome that I can use to build a campaign to send to those leads. So I'm going to let it do that. Really exciting. All right, so is this option only available to upgraded members for all levels? I'm actually not so, Greg, can you speak to how many of these come with the different plan levels and what plan levels they start with?
Yeah, they're on the pricing page. They come, you get at least one. So it's attractwell.com/pricing. You get at least one, even if you're on starter, but it goes up to 5, excuse me, with basic, and then 15 on premium. And there's more after that if you have a bigger plan.
Okay. Thank you for that. So if you guys saw here real quick, I actually asked it to give me the prompt for each one. So I'm just going to copy one for each. And I'm going to come over here to campaigns and AttractWell and use the AI campaign creator. I'm going to paste in that prompt and I'm going to let it create the campaign. And I'm going to go ahead and repeat this for each outcome because this is going to be a little different for each person, right? Depending on what their answer is. I want to make sure that these are correct for their results. Create. And we can see here that one's still working. I'll go ahead and grab the third. You see how easy this is when you just have it dialed in? It's crazy. There we go. And let's go see what it's still working there. I'm going to do one more of these. Again, just using the AI campaign creator and the literal prompt that chat builder gave me, I can go ahead and fill out the remainder of what we need to build this funnel. So here we go. There's our energy audit call. Here we go. Let's fix this together. Love it. It is offering our call and the calls to action that are specified. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to click create campaign. I'm going to do that for the rest of these as well. So now I've got all those campaigns done. Obviously, you're going to be checking yours for veracity. Let's go back to our GPT creator. I want you to ask for their name before you start quizzing. Then address them by name after that. Then I want you to ask for their email address in the chat before sharing their results. All results should inform them that I've sent them some info to review and that they should add my email to their address book so they don't miss what's coming their way. Then share a link to book a call with me to discuss their results. Of course, the campaign is going to be doing that as well. So let's go ahead and have that be part of what we're asking it to do. I already like what this is doing. We're so close. Ask name, quiz questions, ask for email, reveal results. Okay, what's the email address? And that is Jane. Yeah, sure, that one. And then once this is done, see where you see configure and outcomes here, you can actually work together with the GPT, with a chatbot to do that, right? So you don't have to know every single thing that's here, right? You can add a photo, which is great. You can adjust what it's loaded there for you. Conversation starters like this one here, you can add more of them if you want. We do want to collect their name and email. This is for a lead magnet. We do want to collect it during the conversation in the chat with natural language. If you are not routing to particular outcomes, so this is something that we might do if just depending on your use case, you can choose to add an action or an automation to run here, regardless of their outcome. You can choose to allow this to escalate, and you can add a knowledge base to give additional context and information, right? So this would be something that, again, if you have a paid LLM that you use, tell it that you're building out a chatbot, tell it what you're doing, and say, build a knowledge base for me so that it can sound more like you, just giving it more information to sound like you, to understand the scope of what you might talk about and the motivations that you have and where you want to lead people. All right, so I'm going to apply this configuration. Beautiful. Let's go set up our outcomes here. So here's our nutrient depleted mom. I've got a tag here, nutrient depleted. I'm also going to add this action here, and this is going to be to start sending the campaign. There's my nutrient depleted mom campaign. I'm going to save this outcome. Sleep deprived warrior. Let's go ahead and edit that. I'm going to add the action here to start sending the campaign. Sleep deprived warrior. There it is, the one that I created, the one that gave me the prompt for it. Again, I can continue here, and I have a unique campaign for each of these outcomes. There we go. I'm going to save this, save my GPT, and let's go test drive this thing. All right, so let's go take a look. And it's asking me what's secretly, it's asking me if I want to find out what's secretly stealing my energy as a new mom. Takes about 60 seconds. You walk away knowing exactly what's going on, plus a personalized game plan. What's your name? Here's my name. And then we can keep going. Wellness coach, beautiful. Tell me about nutrition. How often do I feel this way? I'm going to say almost always. And yes, Lori, this can absolutely take the place of a discovery call booking page, with the exception of the actual calendar booking. We would send them to the calendar after this. So if you want to do like sort of a screening or an intake ahead of a call, then you could absolutely use this for that. All right, so wake up almost as tired as I went to bed. Okay. How often do you feel overwhelmed? Most days. And we just have a couple more questions. You see how I put it down to 5. Obviously, if it's a client, then you could maybe have this be something that's a little bit longer. If somebody gave you money, they're treating this as work that they need to do, right? But if they haven't, we are really walking a fine line of keeping their attention. So a little, 4 of 5, almost there. This is so cool. And remember, we can embed this all over the place. So question out of 5. Definitely. And check this out. No pop-up, no interruption, right? Nothing to get frustrated over. All right. Look at that. Continue. And in this case, I don't actually have a correct, this should be going to a booking link, but I didn't give a correct booking link to it when I set it up. So this would set it there. But one thing that I didn't notice, and perhaps you noticed as well, it didn't get my email address. I just tested this and it displayed results without requiring email in the conversation first. And
I think you were logged in. I noticed it said not Ashley, click here at the top. So I think
that makes sense. Okay.
I knew you were.
So maybe I need to view this in a different, like a private browser or something, or private window.
Yeah, you can probably do that.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so that wasn't actually the system, that was it recognizing that it was me. Okay. Okay, cool. So then this is fine. But again, the really cool thing about this setup feature is that you don't have to know what you're doing. Like, that really is the most important thing that you need to know, is that you don't have to know exactly what you're doing. This is truly an AI assisted builder. It will fill out these pieces for you. It will work with you to set these things up yourself. And of course, you can go into settings and put different statuses in here. You can hide from search engines or show. You can show your site and menu if you're using this as a standalone page, adjust the background color. You can even set this up with SEO, again, so it's discoverable if you'd like, and you can choose to embed this wherever you'd like. Now, speaking of using this in different places, let's talk about where it can go. First things first, we can put this on our website pages. So any of your individual pages, say like a home page here, all you've got to do is go into settings, leads, and now you've got custom GPT right here. And we can show this custom GPT on this page. And you can choose which one that you want. And what was I have so many here. Here we go. What's stealing your energy? So I can click done. I can click save. And on this particular page, I can show, there it is right there, a particular GPT, right? And all of these things are modifiable, right? So you can rename this, you can rewrite whatever this says, chat with us. And you could also make sure that it automatically opens after a certain number of seconds. You could also embed this into blog posts. So if someone is just reading something on your site and you want to be able to have this pop up, does this go, Greg, on? Yeah, it goes on to the, you could put this on your blog main page. You can choose where it shows up truly anywhere. It can go in your member area as well. And let me show you also, if you wanted to set up a quiz where you're scoring someone, because that is like an outcome for scoring a quiz. One of those actions that you can have it take is to unlock the next lesson in an online class, right? So if we go over to our vaults, we've got a number of places where we can put this. We could literally put it into the vault itself here by going right here to where it says custom GPT. And we can attach that. Inside of your vaults themselves, you can add these to the pages in your vault. So if I go to my settings here under leads, you can attach it here. Discussion rooms, same. You can add a custom GPT here. And in your classes, which I don't think this vault has a class. Let me go, I think this one does. All right, so in the class itself, we can also have one that's just on the class page, right? So I can save this and view the class, right? So that's right here. I can also go into my individual lessons and I can choose right here under custom GPT, I can attach, if I want to quiz them at this point, get intake information. This would be like absolutely fabulous for onboarding, right? To have a chatbot like this that's in this particular lesson. It's maybe guiding them through a particular part of the process. So maybe they have to complete this. And then in the setup of this GPT, you would then be able to dictate that it unlocks the next lesson, right? So let's just say, for instance, this one requires approval, right? Or it's otherwise unlocked, or it's otherwise locked. Your custom GPT that you're using to quiz here can unlock the next one, right? Or you could actually, at the very end, you could connect it there, quiz them on the entire contents of the class or course, and maybe certify them, right? Give them their confirmation that they have done this correctly. So guys, there's so much that you can do with this. I hope you're seeing sort of the scope of what this could look like for you. And I hope it's exciting for you. And I hope that you know that we are going to be doing a lot more of this. You'll be seeing more of this and how to set it up for yourself. Let me go ahead and get into a couple of questions, and then I am going to bring Peggy out. Peggy, you are here, right? All right. Okay, so what would be a good idea for a quiz for booking clients for my piano and voice program? Is it to test them to see how much they already know about piano and singing, or something else that will generate interest to book a call with me? Oh, that's a good question. I think that, I mean, the answer could be yes to multiple of these. If you feel like you need to have some kind of filter before someone signs up with you, right? If you need to assess whether or not they're at a particular level of proficiency, obviously that needs to be something that a bot could handle testing for you, right? So like a general knowledge quiz. And if they are not ready for that, then maybe we don't show them that sales page. Maybe we offer them something else. So that would be an example of that. I think that a custom GPT like this could be really helpful for quizzing, though, in particular. So knowing that maybe you're going to be teaching music theory, you could have, you know, music theory modules, and you could have quizzes or something along those lines. I would think that could be really helpful as well. All right, Shirley has a question about the language. You notice that it sounds like AI in the way that it speaks. Is there a way to program it so it doesn't sound like AI, but just a basic answer? Or is it always conversational in this style? Yeah, so this is something that is going to be modified tremendously by a knowledge base file, right? So that's going to really give more of the dictation of how you're supposed to sound. Right. So when I set this up for the client I was mentioning before, I do not speak the language that he does. Like we're family friends, and like obviously when we hang out, I understand him perfectly. When he starts talking shop, I have no idea what he means, right? And yet, with the right AI tools in place, you can actually, and I have actually trained AI to sound like him. He has a quiz that's a diagnostic for potential clients, so that he doesn't get on the phone with tire kickers, and he knows what they need before he gets on the call with them, and it doesn't sound like AI at all. It sounds like him. So the more work you put into developing a knowledge base file that you can upload, and I would do that with your preferred trained MLM and LLM in a project that you've created in like Claude or ChatGPT, you'll get closer and closer to something that sounds less like the invented AI language. I'm obviously using a relatively untrained one here today, and sans knowledge base, it's just going with what's there. Can I make it look like a traditional quiz, not a bot, without all the cushy stuff? Yeah, you can. You just need to train it. Like and you can, in that dialogue back and forth, tell it what you would like to do. Say, I just tested you and this isn't working in this way. How can we make this modification? And it can go in and modify those instructions on the back end to make it behave better. All right, Barb says, this is probably an easy question that I can't find, but is there some way when I send text that it can say my name instead of phone number? And also, I don't remember purchasing the phone number, but it sends. Okay, so I don't think that text is extra with AttractWell for two-way texting, right? Is it extra? I think it's built in.
Right, on basic and higher, it's included. Yeah. There's no caller ID though. That's kind of like a technical phone system thing. For some reason, they don't allow caller ID on texts. I don't know why. Kind of weird, but if they ever do that, we'll add it.
Well, one thing that you could do though, Barb, just as a suggestion, is create a VCF file. And that's a contact card file. And what you want to do is, and let me just go, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Come on, Zoom. Okay, so if you create a VCF file, and again, that's a contact card file. If you have, I only know how to do this on a Mac, but I'm sure that this is super doable elsewhere. But basically a VCF file is a contact card. It's got your name, it's got your phone numbers, your website address, etc. And it's what you have in your phone that you would share with a friend or that you would have in place for a friend. But if you go and you upload that to the file section, which I think I have a VCF in here. Maybe there's like a file type. It's not searching the file type. Okay, I actually don't have one in here. Anyway, upload it to your files section and copy its link, and then add that maybe in the first message of your text campaigns or when you're sending your information to people. And that way they save you in their contacts, in their devices. And when they get a text from you, they will see your name and maybe even your image, like a photo of you or a logo for your business. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, Peggy, I'm going to bring you out to chat. You guys keep the conversation and the questions coming. I am really thrilled to hear what you guys are planning to do with this feature and what you'd like to know about it. Actually, could you do that for me while we're here in the chat? Because the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about this feature more. I want you to have confidence. Obviously, go play with it. You can see that you can just start talking to it and it'll make something good, even if you don't have a lot to give it, right? But if you want more guidelines or specific use cases to explore, pop those into the chat and let me know, and that can help us better guide how we'll be showing up and showing you how to use this feature in the coming weeks. Hey, Peggy, go ahead.
Hey, Ashley and Greg, thanks for having me. So I am creating a evergreen course out of 5 to Thrive. So if you go into my account, 5TT is all my pages. And Julie helped me with this somewhat, but then I got lost in myself and what I was doing. So let's see. So 5TT, not live register. If you go to the next page, It's 5TT. Oh, go back. Sorry. 5TT. It should just be register. Oh, at the top. I'm sorry. The top
This
one.
one? Okay.
Okay. So that page, when I finish it all, make it pretty, will take me should take me to the vault.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. And
When
so this should be a link to a vault. Yep. Perfect.
Okay. When I'm in the vault, then and the contact signs up
Hmm.
there and pays, they are then taken to 5TTQ pre. So that's the pre-questionnaire.
Once they're in the vault?
No, I'm sorry. Once that they've paid, I don't want them to get access to the vault until after they filled out the questionnaire.
Uh-huh. Okay. Is this a recurring payment?
It is not. It's one time.
Okay. Okay. So then what I would do is take payment, like why not take payment on this page?
Oh, yeah.
Because you want to send them to the vault. So if you don't want them to go to the vault until they've taken another step, first they pay, then they take another step, then they go to the vault, right? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Yeah. So I would set up payment on this page. So this button would no longer go to the vault.
Okay.
This button would go to the lead form,
Gotcha.
right?
Hmm.
And then in the settings, you would set up payment here. And we are not yet adding them to the vault, right? So make sure that the vault is not included. There we go. Good. And we will add them to the vault after they complete the next step, right? So just make sure that there's no vault added here, because you
Right.
don't want them to go there yet, because it will be immediate if you do that. So vaults purchased separately, that's good. So we've got payments. So if we save this real quick and I pop this up, they can now pay. Okay, now after they pay, we want to send them somewhere. And you said that was another page on your
Yeah.
site?
It's 5TTQ pre. Yep.
This one. Yeah, perfect. Okay,
Okay.
so once they're there,
Fill out that form.
okay, excellent, good. Okay, and
Mhm.
then once they're done here, we add them to the vault, yes?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
plan.
One other thing I would do, just to be absolutely sure, because not everybody is going, like, for sometimes links get broken, internet connection gets interrupted, etc. I would attach a campaign to this first page, right? So this is the 5TT register.
Mhm.
Attach a campaign to this page that sends them to this link on day 0, just to be safe, because they just paid. And if for whatever reason they don't actually make it to this next page with a questionnaire, or they don't complete this questionnaire right away, they're just out in the ether and they're not getting into the vault, right?
Uh-huh.
So I would attach a campaign here, and on day 0, you send them here, right? Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it. Okay, got it. Got it.
Okay. And then the final step here, and that was the 5TTQ pre, this one.
Right.
All right. And then after they complete this, under leads, what to do after they register, you're adding them to the vault. Perfect. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Julie had said something about creating an instructions page about information about how they're going to get into the vault because they have to sign up for the vault, right? They have to create a login.
Mm. Well, I guess the other option here, let's see. Well, I mean, why not put it here? Just put it on this page, right? I mean,
Good
right
idea.
now, you've just got this, and just put here, well, actually not this page, but the page you're redirecting to, right? So from here, 5TT vault instructions. Yeah, there it is. Okay,
Okay.
great.
And so just so that I understand, so the system, so where does the so where does the login, create a login email come from? So do I have to
That's going to
create?
be attached to the vault, actually.
Okay.
So if we go over here to the vault itself, the Welcome to Vault campaign is going to, that's this one, right? 5 to Thrive.
Yes.
So under entry settings, yep, 5TT, welcome and start the course. Let's see what's in here. Just make sure that it's got here's your access. Get access. Yeah, so it's going to tell them to use their email address that they signed up with. And they click here and they go and they put that email address in, they select a password, and then they get to move on. So yeah, no, this email handles that.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So the one thing that I would just recommend that you do, just to reiterate, is that after they pay, that you're sending them not just directly to that questionnaire, but that you're emailing it to them as well. Just a one message campaign goes to them. Hey, just in case you didn't get this, here you go, right? Because they do need to be able to fill out that form in order to access the vault.
Okay. Very good. I think that's it then.
Fabulous.
Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah, and who knows? You could maybe consider creating, maybe put that questionnaire into your vault. You could actually just add them to the vault directly if you wanted to. Put the questionnaire in there and maybe have that be the first lesson in the class. And nothing is unlocked until they finish that questionnaire. So if that questionnaire is a chatbot, is kind of what I'm saying.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Anybody else have questions or want to explore what it might look like? Okay, I want to actually get in here and see what you guys have said about what you want to do with this. A directional one that suggests which program would benefit most from. I like that, Denny. Create a lead generation quiz. Absolutely. Yeah, this is so fun. You want to create a Myers-Briggs compatibility quiz for couples. I love that. That is so fun. Jenny's going to create a bot to help new chiropractic patients see if your office is a good fit and get a link to schedule or have a call. Oh, that's really great. Oh, how fun. Mental health quiz. What level of support do you need? Coach or licensed therapist. Quizzes in the courses is great. These are so good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, keep it going here and let me know what you guys would like to learn. I think that what I had tentatively put together is that we'll do one that's maybe dedicated just to how you could use this in the member areas. So for things like quizzes or maybe onboarding your clients. And certainly one that is front facing for leads. You guys saw a little bit of how we might set that up here today. Let me see. Yulia says, can I explore options in ChatGPT and then bring it to AttractWell's AI? 100%. That's what I did in Claude, right? So if you have, and I highly recommend that you do this if you use a third-party AI, as I certainly do for multiple projects, multiple clients, where I will create a project that is just for a particular purpose, right? And this doesn't have to be just for your brand. Maybe you have one that is just about your brand and your website or a particular program that you offer. Or you could keep it all in one place. It's up to you. But essentially what you would want to do is inside of that project, and you could work with AI to do this. If you're unsure of what to ask, it can help point you in a pretty solid direction. If you say, I'd like to develop this project so that my voice is clearly defined, so that my content outputs are streamlined and again, clearly defined so that they could be generated accurately, so that I don't sound like AI when I have AI write for me. And then maybe, a scope of what your offers are, who your person is that you're trying to connect with and sell to, what your strategy is for closing them, what the links are that you're using. Just basically give it everything that it needs to know. And what I want you to do is to put those into files. You can use word processor documents. I just use plain text files and I upload those. And I instruct the AI to open and read the project files, maybe a specific project file, reference that, and then use that to guide their output. And so that's what I've done. So in the example that I shared before with a client of mine that uses AttractWell, we've got a boatload of documents that defined who his client is, who he is, what his offers are, what the scope is, what the rules are for copywriting, all of that. And so I could just go straight in and say, I'm creating an AI chatbot. This is what I want it to do. And I can have it come up with ideas for me. But what I basically did was I said, I need you to come up with a prompt that I can give an AI chatbot builder, and I need you to give me a knowledge base. It gave me those two things. I pasted, I uploaded, and I mean, with 90+% accuracy, it sounds like him and it directs to the outcomes that we wanted. right? And so it all starts with a solidly filled, well-prepared project, I think, in an LLM of your choice. And you can very easily just go and generate, right? Now, granted, what I just described to you is something that, like, you would be using a paid AI for. But I mean, if you have your AI settings set up in AttractWell, just like, I can demonstrate for you now, you can go in, if your AI settings are established, you could go ask right with AI for something similar too. Now, it's not going to give you a TXT file to download, right? You're going to want a dedicated paid LLM for that. But it could give you great ideas, right? So let me come back over here actually and get back into the Jane account, and we could take just a quick look at what that looks like to make sure that you're set up appropriately inside of, if you wanted to just use AttractWell, that's super doable here, right? That's kind of what we're all about, is you don't really need anything else. In some cases, it can be super helpful to use something like a paid Claude or something, but you can actually utilize the Claude model in here and just give it the rules for who you are, what you're about, what you offer, what your strategy is. I've done a training and have provided sort of frameworks for you to build out your own to this end if you want to. And then again, once you have this, you can just go right into Write with AI and say, give me 3 ideas for an AI chatbot I can use to collect leads on my website, right? And then you saw how I gave it that prompt before, and it just filled out everything that I needed. And it's more or less in line with the AI rules that I have set up. All right, let me see. It's so nice to hear all of this from you guys. And yes, it was fast. Yeah, oh wow, yeah, the GPT also knows the contacts tags. Greg, can you tell us a little bit more about that out loud for posterity here? You
Yeah,
just did a
sure.
really
So,
cool
I mean,
update.
I think that is new, actually.
Brand new.
Yeah. So basically, if at the point it knows the contact, so there's a setting in there that's like you can choose when it asks for the contact information. I think settings tab or configure or whatever. As long as it's not just set to never, and you have an instruction something about asking them for tags. If it needs those tags, it'll ask them for their name and their email if they haven't already put it in. But if it already knows who they are, it knows that. It'll have all the tags on hand. And so you can create like, oh, if they're a VIP member, respond in this way, greet them with, hey, VIP member, that kind of thing. You can even use it in the outcomes. So like if you have like a VIP booking link that you only give out to your top tier clients, you could do that and then, put it in the member area, something like that in their vault. So they can click in there and they would have a link, it could give them that link only to the VIP people, but it could also, that same GPT could then also be used for everyone else who's not tagged with VIP. And then they would not get the booking link. Maybe they would be directed to, say, a discussion room or something like that to ask community questions, that kind of thing. So yeah, basically you can use it in the instructions to alter what it says and kind of which conversation path it goes down. And then the outcomes as well. It can be an outcome criteria filter too. So yeah, lots of possibilities with that one for sure.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And guys, I've just barely scratched the surface here today. You saw me come up with something light and goofy. Like the degree of dialed inness you can get with this is just extraordinary. So play around with it and send us your ideas. Tell us what you'd like to do with it. I would love to sit down and explore use cases with you guys to the extent that you would like to share them. And of course, we can show and tell to the extent that you're comfortable as well. If you want feedback on how to improve the one that you're working on, or just however you want to set this up, let us know. Yulia says, I have a question about last week's training. You didn't like how many categories were showing on your blog and you eliminated it to 5. What do categories do with my SEO? So Greg, do you know if on the back end at all, those category tags for blogs are like, do they play into anything that would be SEO adjacent, like, site mapping or content mapping, siloing, stuff like that?
I would think so. Yeah, it's got to have some effect on it. I don't know exactly offhand what all that is, but I mean, I know the crawlers are all over those pages too. So they must use it for something.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is helpful, right? So if you feel like you have too many that show up, then I would definitely use the tools that are there to maybe hide them from the pages. That doesn't mean that the crawlers don't see them. It just means that the reader doesn't have to deal with them, right? And what they do kind of do as well is if you click one of them, it actually gives you a full list, a full feed, a category page, if you will, which is like category pages are valuable for SEO because they demonstrate an organization for your site. So in that way, if it is tagged with a keyword that is your category, then that can absolutely be impactful to demonstrating to the crawlers the logical construction of your site, which absolutely influences authority scores and SEO and the like. All right. It's so exciting to see the excitement with all of you guys and what you're going to do. So do me a favor this week, as you're playing around with this, come into our Facebook group. Let us know what you've created. If it's something that you would like to have us take a look at, or if you want to share it, then let us know there. If there's something that you want to learn how to do with this that you feel at all unclear about, then of course we can focus on that in some upcoming trainings. Where do we replace the phrase chat with us? I think that is something that you control where you embed it. So Paula, let me just show you that here real quick. Thank you for that question. So if I wanted to embed so I think I embedded a GPT on this home page. So it's in the settings. I don't think I actually did one on here. So if I go to leads, custom GPT chatbot settings, I'll show a floating custom GPT. And this is where that chat with us is. It's right here on this button label. So if you aren't linking to this directly from wherever it is, you get to decide where you embed it, how you characterize this. And these settings really are it's possible for you to dial these in to the nth degree, right? So obviously a lot of folks who use us aren't necessarily publishing in the English language, despite that being what our platform is built on and what we speak in. You aren't limited to English, right? So just like we talked about on the blog last week, you can change the buttons, the sort of built-in words and search fields, and you've got those controls both in the GPT setup itself, as well as where you embed it. Oh, and one more thing. Gosh, I didn't touch on this, but we'll definitely need to do this on a future date as well. These GPT chats, if a chat is active, look at this. You can see anything that is live and anything that is the bot. So if you get a chat that's handed over to you, so if that's how you set up your bot, I want this to be able to connect with me directly, then you've got that where they've tossed over to live and you can go in and chat back and forth with them, right? So you get notified that you need to pop in and engage. And these are now in the contact settings in the same place that you deal with your messages and your campaigns. You've got those GPT chats there as well. And yeah, it doesn't have to be stuck to the right. You could put it on the left too. Excellent. Staycation to work on all of this. Well, hey, you know what? We are coming up on the second quarter. So March is you're coming up on an opportune time to schedule yourself a business retreat for Q2. So why don't you go ahead and book that, Denny? Your business will thank you, and you'll have a little bit of fun with your tech in the meantime. Excellent. All right. Appreciate you guys. We will be back to talk about this more next week. What you share with us in the meantime will dictate the direction that we take with it. So head over to our Facebook group, shoot us a message, support@attractwell.com. We so appreciate you guys and are so excited to see what you build with this. We'll see you next week.